like someone was picking on you for no reason? Okay, you've all kind of experienced that. All right. How many of you have heard of the story of Cinderella? The fairy tale Cinderella. Okay, so you remember that. Good. We're going to be reading a story today that's the Chinese version of Cinderella. Sophie, do you have a question?
Well, I watched all kinds of Cinderella stories and stuff. I one time I watched a show and she was imagining something that she was like doing something like Cinderella, and she had to like clone and stuff.
All right, hold that thought of the story of Cinderella, because we're going to use that, what we're remembering about Cinderella, Mackenzie, when we read this story. All right.
Okay.
Yay, Shannon. You may have a pencil. You're going to have two things in front of you. You're going to have your story, and then you're going to have what I call a story plan. All right? Let's look at the story plan just to orient yourself with that first. All right, it says at the top, story plan. Look where it says setting. And what does it say right beside setting? Amir, read that for me.
What is the time and place?
All right, so when we ask ourselves what is the time and the place, we're figuring out what the setting is. And at the top, you will see we have Ye Shen and we have Cinderella. All right, so our whole lesson today is going to be about comparing and contrasting these two stories, the one that you know and the one that we're going to read. All right, look down to the next one where it says main characters. Sophie, read what it says next to main characters.
What is the
major
difficulty?
Mm-hmm.
The main character is facing.
So the major difficulty that the main character is facing, what does that mean? What's a major difficulty? What a major difficulty is? It's like what?
It's really like something that it's a problem.
It's the problem. It's the problem in the story. Okay? All right, let's look at the next one down where it says the goal. The goal. All right, Ella, read what it says up beside goal.
What does the main character hope to achieve?
Yes, what do they hope to achieve? Okay? It's their goal, right? Usually in a story, main character is trying to do something, trying to achieve something. All right, and then the next one after that, events. Mackenzie, read what it says next to events.
Right here?
Mm-hmm.
What are the key
Keep going.
steps to the main character takes to achieve the goal?
Yeah, the key steps the main character takes to achieve the goal. Okay? So you have to figure out what they hope to achieve, and then how are they going to get there? What are the steps they need to do to get there? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the last one is that R word at the very bottom is the resolution. All right. How does the story end? So we have to think about and compare how this story ends and how Cinderella ends. All right. All right. So this is what we're going to be thinking about as we're reading our story. Before we get started, I have some words that I thought might be, anybody has a pencil? Might be a little tricky for us in here. So I put them in. I'm going to leave this up as we're reading today. So as we come to one of these words, we can look at it. So the first one is lured. Anybody ever heard of lured?
Like a lord,
I think you're thinking of a different word. Lured means tricked into going somewhere.
Does that mean like doing your dog or that only mean training?
Yes, kind of along those lines. Lured them in. Might be someplace that's not good. If you're lured somewhere where you shouldn't go, somebody offers you candy, go somewhere you shouldn't go. You're like lured in there. Yeah. All right, the next one is shimmering. Mackenzie has on lettering on her shirt that's shimmering.
I do. It's like
kind of sparkly. See how it shimmers in the light, shimmering?
I know.
Dazzled. Dazzled.
Amazed.
You're like amazed by something. Dainty.
Small and pretty.
Small and pretty. Dainty. You might wear a ring or a necklace. That's
watch.
small and dainty, or a watch. Yes.
Maybe crowd.
Or a crown. That's right. And then the last one is elegant. Stylish and graceful. Elegant.
Like look at
Yeah, like her dress. Stylish and elegant. Yes.
It looks nothing like Cinderella as well.
It doesn't look anything like Cinderella. You're right.
Yeah, because Cinderella has like she has like she has like dirty clothes on and she has like blonde hair.
So you're already contrasting some things that are different. All right. Well, let's start with Ye Shen, and look at the subtitle: A Cinderella Tale from China. So you see a difference already from where the setting might be.
Can we read the top part as well?
You can. Go ahead, Amir, if you want to read that top part.
Read it already.
You did already? You want to read it out loud to us? No? All right, let's read together. This right up here at the top. Right up here at the top. This Chinese version of the Cinderella story is set 2,000 years ago. As in the fairy tale we know, it tells of good people and bad, rich people and poor. Does that sound like Cinderella?
No. Oh yes.
A little bit?
Because some of them are rich and some of them are poor.
Some were rich, some were poor in Cinderella, and this fairy tale has the exact same thing. All right, yes, Amir.
And Cinderella was a little bit poor as well.
She was. Yes, she was. All right, I'm going to read the first paragraph, and I want you to follow along with your eyes, and then I'm going to let you read the rest of the page to yourself. All right? So listen and follow along. A long time ago in China, there lived a village chief named Wu with his 2 wives and 2 daughters. Ye Shen, the younger daughter, was a kind and beautiful child. She learned quickly to do many things. All right, now when you start reading, you're going to be introduced to another character, which is Ye Shen's half-sister, and her name, you can see it in the next paragraph, Jun Li. All right, so 1, 2, 3, go. I want you to start right there where it says her half-sister, and you're reading it to yourself, the rest of that page. You start. Unpleasant.
I'm doing only read this paragraph. Cruelty.
right, so we've just read three. That's right. We've just read 3 paragraphs. Already, which details are similar to those that you remember from Cinderella?
Wait, we read 4.
This one is connected onto this, so it's 1, 2, 3 paragraphs. See how that's not indented, so that you know that's still connected to that paragraph. But good question. All right, so you had a similarity or a difference?
It's similar.
Okay, tell us.
Cinderella's mom and dad died in the beginning of the movie,
Mhm.
and she got 2 stepsisters like this one.
Okay, all right. So she still has her dad, and she has only 1 stepsister in this one instead of the 2. So that's kind of a similarity and a difference. Sophie, did you have one?
She had a stepmother.
She had a stepmother.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's a difference. And she was her stepmother and stepsister. She did her like service.
Made her into a servant. You're right. Mackenzie, did you have one? Anything else you want to add to it? I noticed something that was introduced in the last paragraph. See where it says life was hard? Reread that paragraph for me and see if you notice something that is introduced. Actually, kind of a character that's introduced in there.
Her only friend was the mouse, golden-eyed fish that
Does that help you? Enormous?
enormous mouse, golden-eyed fish that she fed every day at the lake. Hearing of the stepdaughter from Yation's lured the golden-eyed fish from the water. Then she sprayed it and cooked it up for dinner.
I heard you read this word. All right, so what is introduced in here that's different than Cinderella? What character?
The fish, she had a friend.
That's right. Who were Cinderella's friends? Do you remember?
Is the prince count as a friend?
He doesn't count as a friend. No, but she did have some friends.
The
The mice were her friends. And so who is Yesh and the birds? And Ye-Shen's friend then is what, Mackenzie? What we just read about. This big, enormous fish is her friend, okay? All right, this fish is gonna play an important role when we turn over the next page. All right, so let's turn to the bag. Before we turn over, what did the stepmother do to this fish? She used one of these words right here. Ella, what'd she do?
She lured the
Lured the fish.
fish
Yes.
and cooked it up for dinner.
So she killed it and cooked it.
Poor fish.
I know. Why do you think the stepmother killed and cooked this fish, her only friend? Why do you think, Mackenzie?
Wait.
Stepmother finds out that Ye-Shen has this friend, this fish, and so she lures it away and she spears it and cooks it. Why would she do such a thing?
Because the stepmother is always mean to her.
Always mean to her. Why else, Sophie? What'd you read?
Because if he did that, then she thought that that Cinderella would be lonely now.
Okay, good. Mir.
Maybe they probably might have run out of food. Maybe.
They could have, but here's what I'm thinking. If I had to think out loud a little bit, I would think that she knew that it was her only friend. And Mackenzie, what were you going to say?
That she might have killed it because she doesn't like Cinderella.
Right. Absolutely, I would
she's-
agree.
Yeah, so like what I said earlier, she doesn't like her. And
And
she's
all-
always mean to her.
Yes, and I think when Ye Shen is taking time to talk to her friend the fish, she is not doing her chores around the house. And maybe her stepmother doesn't like that
But
either.
her stepsister doesn't do any chores around the house.
I know. Did Cinderella's stepsisters do any chores around the house?
No.
So is that another similarity between the two stories? It is, isn't it? She was just very cruel to Ye Shen, wasn't she? All right, so we're ready for the back page. Let's find out what happened in the rest of the story. All right, I'm going to read that first paragraph to get us started.
But can you repeat?
As Ye Shen wept for her lost friend, an old man appeared. He told her to gather the bones of the fish and put them in a safe spot. The old man said the bones had the power to help her if she was in need. Ye Shen followed his advice. She placed the bones beneath the straw of her bed. Sophie.
This is a similar. So it's kind of like Cinderella had a good godmother. She told who to do who things, and that's what she did, and that's what you shouldn't do.
You're right. You recognized it right away. Exactly right. All right, I'm going to let you read down to the end of just that column.
Just this column.
Mm-hmm. Just read to the end of that column.
Wait, so this column.
Yes.
Okay. In this paragraph,
Mm-hmm.
they were talking about when Cinderella couldn't get balls, she was going to ask